Good morning, reflectors.
Good morning.
Welcome and welcome back to Morning Intentions. And that's right, it's Reflection Friday, June 5th. I think this is going to be really fun. I don't know, the reflections are always funny to me because one person usually takes the reins more than the other.
It's usually you.
And sometimes it's you, and I think it's going to be you today.
Me.
Remember, I had a question from yesterday that I didn't get to ask. That's why I
yes,
think
you
I'm going to ask
did.
this question, and you're going to be off and running, or at least we'll have a nice conversation. But the focus is probably going to be on you today. My question is related to what you said before you explained first bird, second bird. You mentioned that it has helped you to be calmer in your life. Now, the thing about the nervous system is it's more than just the intellectual thoughts that we have. We can think different thoughts, sure thing, but I was wondering, how do you feel in your own skin when you're coming from a calmer, more curious place?
Calm and curious aren't connected for me.
They're not.
I don't have the answer to that because calm and curious aren't the same.
Well, I'm going to get curious then. When you're calmer, how does that feel? Because what I've learned about my nervous system is when I know what calm should feel like, I can try to embody and embrace that in a strange situation. Like I can think about, oh, if my heart's racing, take a deep breath, try to mentally slow it down and get to a more calm and centered place.
Do you go to second bird or do you just try to stay in first bird, still in activity, still in thinking it through, still in all of that, but trying to calm that part down? Or do you make it to second bird? For me, making it to second bird takes a lot of intentionality.
I think about my heartbeat, and you can tell me if this is first or second bird. I can feel my heart racing, and I can either put my hand over my heart or just pay attention to how my heart feels. You know, when you're anxious or excited, the butterflies are fluttering because something's exciting and fun, or I'm really nervous, my heart starts racing. You know that pitter patter, the patter.
Mm-hmm.
And what I do is I focus on the pitter patter, and I have no idea if this actually works physiologically, but it sure works in my head. I think about the beats per minute and then trying to slow it down. You think about a song where the rhythm is very quick, and what would that feel like and sound like if you just slowed it down? So I think about my heartbeat and slowing it down, just thinking about 60 beats a minute or 50 if that's your resting heart rate. I just think about a really slower heart rate and try to create that in my body. That's what I do to calm down. And so that second bird, I think that would be second bird since I'm observing what's going on inside of me.
No,
You're calling that first bird
that's
still?
first bird still. But it's also very helpful practice, obviously.
But yeah, just because it's first bird doesn't make it wrong.
So second bird, that second bird position is really almost removing yourselves, and it would be watching you, observing yourself, trying to slow your heartbeat down. That would be the true second bird. You do have that in you. We all have that in us, but we're not acquainted with it until we start practicing with it. So it would be more you watching yourself try to slow your heartbeat down and not being connected or affected by whether you did it or not, whether you were successful or not. Stepping into that space, Michael Singer is the best teacher of first bird, second bird. He doesn't call it that. He calls it something else I can't even remember, but he talks about stepping into that's what he does. He talks about it as stepping into the role of the observer.
And other people talk about it as becoming the witness.
Becoming the witness, yes. So this is something that we all possess, so to speak, but then if we're not aware of it, we don't know. But it is a tool, and it's a tool for getting out of our stories because we can watch ourselves when we're practicing this, getting all caught up in the story. And then we can go into shame and blame and all of that, or we can just step into the role of the observer and not be affected by it and not let it take over our experience of life.
So you mentioned yesterday that going into that role of the observer, the second bird, has helped make you feel more calm. How does that happen for you? Like, what does that look like? What's the experience like? Because we can have the theoretical version of something. It's very academic, it's bookish, like, oh, and you do this and you do that, and then, yeah, you got it. But what is a real world experience of that for you?
Well, I could share something very personal.
Only if you want to. You don't have to get too
Okay,
personal.
well, okay, so yesterday I had this experience that a memory from like 20 years came into my mind. It was a memory where I had gone along with a decision and I regret that. I still regret that. I was starting to go into a shame storm. Brene Brown and how she describes a shame storm, no one else can do it like Brene, but I went into a Brene Brown shame storm. And I could feel it in my body, and it was torture. I don't like shame storms. And I had one. I was lying in bed, and I thought about not being so caught up in the shame storm. I wasn't thinking about going into the role of the observer, but I did it naturally because I've been trying to practice this for so many years, trying to remove myself and just watch myself be in my shame storm. What happened is that I was overwhelmed with compassion for myself. I didn't allow the shame storm then to take over like my whole night, which I've had experiences like that. I just went into compassion because I watched myself beating myself up over this decision that I made 20 years ago. By removing myself from that shame storm and stepping into the role of the observer, going into second bird and just observing helped me to come to this place of compassion for myself.
Did it help you to get curious? And what was the story you were telling yourself during that time about why you made the decision that you did? Did you get curious about what the other people in the situation, if there were any, might have thought or any of that?
No, but I'm wondering if that would be the next step. I still don't really have resolution inside. I was able to go into compassion for myself, but bringing in this curiosity element, I haven't done that. Like I said at the beginning of this podcast, curiosity and calm aren't related. Maybe that's something that I could think about.
That might be good. I would suggest that. I would encourage it because when we practice, we all got to practice being curious. That's what this month is all about. When we're just on the cutting edge of curiosity, it's going to feel scary. Or it could be
Or if we're in our stories.
nerve-wracking. Yeah, if we're in the story, it could be like, oh, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not sure I want to do this. But the more we practice curiosity, the better we get at it. When we start to feel what it feels like to get anxious, or we start feeling what it feels like to tell ourselves a story, the more we can practice all of these skills, the better we get at them, and then the less scary they'll be, the more useful they will be. It's when we start with no and we put up that wall of resistance, what that tells our brains and our nervous systems is this is not something that's good for me. So then our reaction to it becomes stronger.
Even when we stay in the shame storm and we think there's no way out.
A shame storm that's like that begets a bigger shame storm.
Yes.
A no begets a bigger no. And that's where practice and curiosity come in. The more we can check in with those no's, the more we can look at our stories and identify them as the stories that they are. That's the observer. I'm telling myself a story right now. We are observing ourselves telling a story.
And I close my eyes and try to envision what I look like, all worked up. That is a technique that has worked for me. I close my eyes to get into the second bird position to just create just a little space between what my experience is and then my observation of me in that experience.
So our intention for today and for this weekend is I will practice being the second bird, the observer, the witness, so I can be both calm and curious. I will practice being the second bird so I can be both calm and curious. Thank you so much for joining us today and this week. Our day is better because you are part of our day. See you Monday.
See you then.
I'm wanting something more, and I'm ready to begin. A life of happiness awaits me. It starts today when